audible?
Yes.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to everyone. Welcome to the Model Exam 5th and Model Exam 6th discussion session, which is organized by Scholarship Eagle team. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Fatima Faiz. Currently, I'm doing my BSc in International Relations at the University of Peshawar. Today, I'm here with my colleague, Ammar, who is studying in NED Karachi, and especially our dedicated volunteers who will be explaining the model paper section by section, discussing the correct answers and the reasoning behind them, and giving some useful tips for solving similar questions. Okay, and then feel free to listen and take notes. If there's any question, you may ask at the end. So yeah, we hope you all attempt the previous mock exams and gave it your best. We had conducted 4 mock exams before and provided needed materials to the applicants. You can have a look where we have updated each and everything in our channel. Okay, and we have our WhatsApp helpline. If you have any questions regarding the scholarship, don't hesitate to reach out. Okay. Without further delay, let's begin today's session. So now I invite our volunteer, Anna Faiz. The floor is yours. Anna, you may start.
Thank you, Data. Give me a second. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Myself, Anna Faiz, currently studying at DPT at UMT Lahore. So, I'll be doing the verbal reasoning part for you guys. I hope you are all tried the paper with timing and with your mark sheet. So, let's start the paper now. So, if you see this first question, complete the correct structure for this conditional sentence type. So basically, this conditional sentence have 5 types, all right? So this part would be the second type, second conditional clause. Okay, this question is second conditional structure. So how do you find it? There are 5 types. I'm not going to go deep into it, but this first question belongs to second type. How? This is the first clause says if clause. So this is if plus the verb article. So the answer would be, the main clause would be would plus the verb sentence. So we have 5 types. So make sure y'all go through all 5 types. So this question belongs to second type. So the answer would be B. Answer would be B, would plus V. Okay. So the second question would be I blank him that I came this far to discover all these. So if you read without the answer, I plus blank, I blank him that I came this far to discover all these, you can see that this action belongs to past, right? So this past means the answer should be in simple past. So the simple past tense in this answer would be, again, be told. Okay. Third question, what is the opposite word of profound? So you have to know the meaning of profound first to know the opposite of it. Profound means deep. So you can say deep, the opposite would be shallow. Shallow means the answer would be superficial. Superficial is the similar word for shallow. Okay. So fourth question. What is opposite meaning of the phrasal word hop in? Hop in means it's enter. So this is an easy one. So the answer would be B, hop out. So the fifth question, what is the synonym of the word timid? So basically synonym is a similar word for timid. Timid means you gotta be, it means shy or lack of confidence. So all other meanings give the same, brave, confident, bold, everything is giving the same meaning, and the odd one out is shy. So if you don't know the answer, basically if you have like, obviously they're going to give words that we are not familiar with, okay? So if you don't know the answer, look for the answer options. So obviously if they're going to ask one answer would be standing out, okay? So the rest would be the same. So in this case, brave, confident, bold, all three words are very common words, and we know the meaning of it. So you can see that all A, B, and D options are having the same meaning, and the one standing out would be the C option, which is shy. Sixth one, what is the opposite word of stoop? Stoop is basically you bend over, okay? So the opposite word would be straightening. So straighten is going to be answer D. So seventh one, what is synonym for solemnly? So solemnly is basically you have it like seriously. So you have phrases like solemn promise. So it's like a serious promise. So solemnly is basically answer B, seriously. So even here you can see loudly, quickly. That doesn't give the option of the meaning solemnly. So answer would be B, seriously. Eighth question. Uh, so the eighth question is they asking the opposite word. So lenient is actually basically not strict, okay, easygoing. So opposite of it would be strict. So basically, if you see the answer options from all others, from the four answers, kind, gentle, and flexible. So being flexible is easygoing. Okay. So kind, gentle, all other meanings are giving the same meaning, and one standing out or one odd out of the four answers is strict. So if you don't know the meaning, go to the answers, read it once, then you're gonna get the answer. Okay. Um, Ninth one, choose the pair with the same relationship. So basically, this question is like a thing in the HEC this aptitude test. Okay, so make sure you have good practice in this type of question. Uh, So if you see the ninth question, they have given oven, bread. Okay. So oven produces bread. So with that connection, with that relationship of that first option that they have given, you got to go to the second one, the question part, which is loom. So loom produces, go to the options. A, needle, obviously no. C, thread, no. You know that loom is something that yeah, I guess you all have seen the loom. D is clothespin, where we use to produce. So loom produces what? The fabric. Fabric is the cloth. Okay. So 10th one is grass, leaf. So again, see the relationship between grass and leaf. What does grass is made of? It's leaf. So you gotta have a critical thinking in it. Okay. So grass is made up of leaf. Okay. So sand would be made up of what? Dust? No. Beach? No. Stone? No. Answer would be grain. Okay. Grain is that small particles. Yeah, I know grain, right? Okay. 11th one would be skin and peel. Skin, you can peel it. So the action of ventilator would be to ventilate. This is an easy one. So horse, hoof. So basically, hoof is, in deer and horses, you have this toe part, and basically for us, it's the nail. The hoof is the nail part of those animals. So you have seen the toe and the lower part, you could see some like a metal part. So that is the hoof of horse. So exactly the same for the dog would be tail, obviously no. Fur, no. Fur is the skin part which comes, and ear, obviously no. So the leg, which goes with has the same relationship as hoof, is paw. 13th, sheep and wool. So you know that sheep produces wool. So silkworm is actually a small worm like a caterpillar, and it would give it's the name suggested. So don't overthink about some questions because some questions have answers in the questions itself. So silkworm, obviously the word itself has the answer. So A, silk. 14th one, dog and puppy. So dog, the young one. Okay, the young one of the dog is puppy. So you know that the young one of cat is kitten. Um, 15th one, goat, and the young one of goat is kid. So horse is B, goat. Igloo, accommodation. Accommodation means, how do you say? You can accommodate people into it. So pen and ink, that doesn't give the same relationship. Book, author, no. Tree, leaf, no. Stadium is a place that you can accommodate people into it, right? So the relationship with igloo, answer is B. I hope you all understand. If you have any doubts, you all can ask at the end. No worries. Um, okay. 17th, radio gives news. The relationship is that. So hence, watch would tell you what? The time, right? Not the date. So watch would tell you time. Okay. 18th. So age, you all know age is height. So relationship you could say is age leads to height or the growth. So what would give the same relationship as that? Study would what? Study will lead you to knowledge. If you study, you get the knowledge. Same as age. If you age, you reach a height. Okay? The relationship is clear here. And what is the synonym of the word visage? So visage means like how do you say? Expression, a facial expression basically. Face or facial expression, which sort of the meaning. So even if you don't know the meaning, just look at the options. So confident, ugly. So I mean, yeah, you should know the meaning. Answer is C. Visage is expression. Similar word for slumber. Slumber is you being asleep. So answer is D. So this is all for my part. This is all for my part, and we have 20 questions under verbal reasoning. Um, 20 questions under verbal reasoning, and I've done it. And thank you so much. I hope you all understood. If you all have any questions, you all could ask at the end. Thank you and Jazakallah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anna, for that wonderful explanation. Now I'd like to invite our next volunteer, Ranishka Fernando, who will be explaining the analytical reasoning part, which includes 20 questions. Over to you, Ranishka Fernando.
All right, thank you. Give me a second as I start my screen. I hope you all can see my screen.
Yes, it's visible.
All right. So, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all of you. I am Ranjka Fernando and I am a first year medical student at Dow International Medical College in Karachi, Pakistan. So, I will be going through and discussing the analytical reasoning section of model paper 5 and 6 today. So, as we discuss these questions today, you all will be able to see that there's a very common pattern on how you should approach these questions. And then once you all get hold of this pattern or these methods, you all will see that analytical reasoning questions aren't that difficult. Actually, many students find it a bit hard because it takes time, and if you try to do it in a rush, it's quite hard. So another tip I will give you before we start is that you have to approach these questions very slowly and with patience because these can get a bit tricky. So all right, let's move on to our first question today. Right. So first of all, you all should read the statement or the the main body of the question very slowly and make a rough sketch. So on the side of your booklet that you all get, the question booklet, you all can make a rough sketch. So let's go. So 6 family members A, B, C, D, and E, and F have 6 different professions: doctor, psychiatrist, engineer, manager, lawyer, and soldier. The following information is given. A and D are a married couple. So we know that A and D are married. So let's make a small sketch. A and D. We know that D is a manager. So manager. Then B is the mother of E and F. So we know that B is married to somebody. We don't know who that is yet. And B is the mother of E and F. So they have 2 children who are E and F. C and the lawyer are married. So we know that C is married to a lawyer. The grandfather of F is a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist is also a doctor. So we know that grandfather of F is a psychiatrist. So if F is the children of B and C, the grandfather of F should be either a parent of B or the other person. So for now, let's just put it on B. So actually this question is wrong. I mean, we can't get a proper answer, but you all have an idea on how you all should approach this, right? So since they're given that A and D is married, A and D cannot be married to B, right? Because B is married to someone else. So since there are only 6 people in this question, we know that the grandparents should be A and D. So because that, we will put A and D here. So we can see that the remaining person should be C, because A, D, B, E, and F are already taken. So B should be married to C. So that is how you all form the structure. I mean, you all can form a tree-like thing. This is called a pedigree chart. So this is how you all should approach these sort of questions. You all will see in the future also, there will be many questions that you all should approach in this way. So according to data, C and the lawyer are married. So C is married to a lawyer. So if C is married to B, B should be the lawyer here. So A and D is a married couple, D is the manager. So D is the manager. So as you can see, we have already figured out what professions these people have, most of them. We have psychiatrists, we have lawyer, we have manager. But since this question is a bit incorrect, we can't figure out who the soldier, engineer, or the other doctor is. But this is how, so I hope you all have a basic idea on how you all can approach these sort of questions. Right, so we'll move on to our next question. So this is also another question that you all have to approach in a pedigree chart manner. So let's read it. In a family of 7 people, A, B, C, D, E, and F, and G, A is the father of B. So right, so let's start. A is the father of B. So we know that there's a person called B. A is the father of B. C is the wife of A. So A and C are married. D is the son of B. So B also has children. So B is married to someone else. They have a child called D. E is the daughter of C. So A and C, they have another child who is a daughter, and that is E. F is the husband of E. So E is married to F. And G is the son of F. So F and E, they have a child who is G. So we don't know who B is married to. That's all right, because I don't think we need the data to figure out the answer for this. So how is E related to B? So how is E related to B? So we know that E is the dot of C. So E is the dot of C, so E is a girl. So the answer should be sister. How is E related to B, right? So since E is female, how is it related to B? It's a sister. So the answer is A, sister. How is G related to A? So G and should be the grandparents, right? So how is G related to A? Is the grandson. As you all can see, G is related to A, right? All right, I hope that question is clear as well. So let's move on to our next question. So question says 7 friends A, B, C, D, E, F, and G are sitting in a row facing north. A sits to the left of D. So we have to, so every statement that we write, let's make a small sketch. So A sits left to D. So we know that it's right, left. A sits to left of D. B sits at the extreme left. So there are 7 places. There are 7 seats. B sits at the extreme left. So B is here. G sits at the extreme right. C sits immediately to the right of A. So we still don't know where right is. So actually, in the first statement, it says that A sits to the left of D, but they haven't said that, A sits immediately to the left of D. So because of that, there could be people, in between A and D. Keep that in mind. So C sits immediately to the right of A. And E sits between D and G. So between D and G sits E. So from that, we can figure out since G is at the rightmost corner and E sits in between D and G, this should be E. Right? This should be E and this should be D. Next statement is F sits between C and D. So we have D here. So we have C here. And F should be sitting in between. So C and F. So from this, we know that also it says that C sits immediately to the right of A in the fourth statement. So that means this should be A. Right. So the question is, who sits in the middle? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This should be in the middlemost position. So the answer is F. Next question is, who sits immediately left of G? That would be E, right? All right, so I hope that is clear as well. So this is how you should approach it. So read every statement, make a small sketch. And if there is, a seating order, always make 7 blanks. I mean, according to how many people there are. And then, fill in these gaps. So then you all can figure out the order. So, all right, I hope that's clear as well. So let's move on to our next question. So 7 cars, A, B, C, D, E, and F, and G are parked in a line. So this is also like our previous question. So let's solve it as well. A is at the left hand. So again, we have 7 cars. So let's draw 7 blanks here. 3. So we know that A is at the left hand. Also, if it's a bit confusing, just mark right and left. So that would be easier. A is at the left hand. So we have A here. We have G is at the right hand. So G would be at the right hand. B is immediately right of A. So B is immediately right of A. So B would be here. D is immediately left of G. D should be left of G immediately. So C is between B and E. So that means C is between B and E. So if E is here, C would be here. F is between E and D. So do you see, obviously there's a blank here. So this should be F, since F is between E and D. So the question is, which car is exactly in the middle? So again, this is the middle. So the answer would be B. The answer would be E. Which two cars are parked at the ends? So it's A and G. So the answer would be B, A, and G. So I hope that's clear as well. Let's move on to our next question. So this is kind of a quantitative question rather than analytical, but let's go with it. So the question is, Rahul's father is 4 times Rahul's age. So let's mark Rahul's father and Rahul as X and Y. So Rahul's father, let's take him as X and Rahul as Y. So the statement states that Rahul's father is 4 times Rahul's age. So X equals 4Y. So this is simple O-level maths, right? X equals 4Y. And after 6 years, the father will be 3 times Rahul's age. So after 6 years, Rahul's father would be X plus 6. And Rahul would be Y plus 6. So after 6 years, the father will be 3 times Rahul's age. So this is Rahul's age, 3 times Rahul's age. So let's quickly solve this. 6 plus 6, 3Y plus 18. So X equals 3Y plus 12. And minus 6, minus 6. So let's leave this for now. We can actually substitute this to this. So this would be 4y. Yeah, so 3y plus 12 equals 4y. So 3y minus 3y minus 3y, this would be y equals 12. So what is Rahul's percentage? So you mark Rahul's age as y, and this would be, Rahul's percentage would be 12 years old. What will be the sum of the ages after 6 years? So after 6 years, the equation that we got was this. So X plus 6. We can figure out what X would be. So if Y is 12, X should be 48, right? Because 4 into 12. So X plus 6 is after 6 years. X plus 6 would be 48 plus 6. Out 6 in the father's age would be 54. What will be the, so what's the son's age out 6 years? That would be 12 plus 6, which is 18. So total would be 18 plus 54, 2, 72. The total would be 72 years old. I hope that's clear as well. So let's move on to the next question. 9 people are standing in a queue. R is third from left, S is second from right, T stands exactly between R and S. So since I marked this as a star, this question has a mistake as well. So this is another question where I should approach. So there's 9 people, 1, 2, 3. So I should draw 9 lines, and you should read the question, read the statements, and fill in the blanks. But since there's a small error in the question, I think we were able to get a proper answer. But you all have an idea on how you all can approach this, right? So that's how you all should approach these sort of questions like we discussed earlier. So let's move on to our next question because we can't get an answer for this. Right, so you should know your directions. So just make a rough sketch in the paper, that would be easier. So it's north, south, west, and east. Right, the person walks 8 meters north. So the person starts from here, 8 meters towards the north, 5 meters towards the east, 8 meters again south, he goes back, and 3 meters to the east. This is starting point. In which direction is he from the starting point? So he started from here, and now he is here. Person is here. So he's in the east, right? So the answer would be D. How far is he from his starting point? So 5 meters traveled already, and 5 here, and 3, so that would be 8. I hope that's clear as well. So this is the next question. So this is a new type. So now when I explain, you all will be able to see how you all can approach this sort of question as well. So A, B, C, and D like different foods. A likes pizza and burger, etc., etc. So there are 4 people here: A, B, C, and D. So A, B, C, and D. And the food that we have pizza, burger, pasta, sandwich. So let's put it here: pizza, burger, sandwich, pasta. The statement says A likes pizza and burger. So A likes pizza and burger. B likes burger and sandwich. Burger and sandwich. C likes pizza and pasta. C likes pizza and pasta. D likes pasta only. Right. So who doesn't like burger? So we can see here that A and B, they both like burgers, but C and D, they don't like burger. So the answer would be both C and D. Who likes pizza? So pizza has A and C. So this is also a very common type. So you all should make, it's like a small grid that you all should make and tick and put check marks, and if it's wrong, you just put it wrong there. And that's how you all quickly figure out these sort of questions. I hope that's clear as well. Let's move on to our next question. 5 employees A, B, C, and D. A, B, C, D, and D. So again, so this is another type as well. So the statement says that A is senior to B. So let's make a small thing like this. So A is senior to B. A is senior to B. B is senior to C. B is senior to C. E is senior to A. So, or we can just make it on this line as directly. So again, A is senior to B, that's done. B is senior to C. C is over here. E is senior to A. So E is older than A. And D is junior to C. So that's how you figure the order. So the question asks, who is the most senior? So that would be E. Who is the most junior? That would be D. So I hope that this sort of method is also clear to you all. And this is how you all should approach these sort of questions. Let's move on to our next question. So the next question states the 6 cars A, B, C, D, E, and F are parked facing north. So this is another question that we do, the same way that we did our previous questions. So we have 6 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A is immediately left of B. So we still don't know where A and B is. We just know that we don't know in which order they are. And we know that A is immediately left of B. So right and left. C is at the left end. So we know that C is at the left end. F is at the right end. And D is between B and E. So B and E, and D should be in between. So since we have, we just have 4 remaining, right? So this should be here. So A, B, D, and E. The question asks, who is immediately left of F? That would be E. And which car is third from the left? So 1, 2, 3. The answer will be B. Hope that's clear as well. So 5 students A, B, C, D, and E scored different marks. So when, they have attributed a number, or let's say, for example, height, age, marks, or score, whatever, then it's that pattern where we make a ladder kind of thing and we compare two people and finally make a proper order. So it says that A scored more than B. So again, we draw this chart and let's put A in the center. A, right? So A scored more than B, higher than B. C scored less than D. We don't know where they are. So let's just put it here. C scored less than D. C scored less than D. And E scored more than A. So we know that E scores more than A. And B scored more than C. So B scored more than C. So we can just put D here. So the question asks, who scored the highest? So that would be E. I hope that's clear as well. Yeah, so that would be it from my end for model paper 5. So I hope everything was clear. And as y'all can see, like even though we had 20 questions, we had like 3 or 4 common patterns. So that's how your paper will be, on Tuesday and Wednesday, hopefully. And always, learn these patterns. So as you can see, we have this pattern, we have ladder pattern, and we have this, sort of pattern. So, learn these patterns and practice more. You all have the whole day today and tomorrow. So yeah, that would be it from me. I'll see you again when we're discussing the analytical part in model paper 6. So thank you and all the best.
Thank you, Anushka. It was a nice explanation. Hope everyone understood. And to add on, analytical reasoning is a part which many people struggle. It takes up time, so don't panic. Go attempt it slowly, or you could leave it for last during, for example. So now let's move on to the next section, which is quantitative reasoning, which also consists of 20 marks. And it will be done by Ilman Ahmed and Ashfaq. The floor is yours.
So, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to today's quantitative reasoning discussion session. So in this session, you will go through the aptitude test questions on the paper, which discusses the ages, profit and loss, averages, simple interest, and number series and LCM. So I will share my screen. So the first question is uh, an age question. So it says a mother is 30 years and older than her daughter, and in 6 years the mother's age will be twice her daughter's age. So for these age problems, the first step is to assign a variable. So let's assume the daughter's current age as X, and then after 30 years, no, it's since the mother's age is 30 years old, her age it's X plus 30, and now after 6 years, the daughter's age becomes x plus 6 and mother's age is x plus 36. So in the question, it says the mother will be twice the daughter's age. So we will write the mother's age equals twice the daughter's age as this way. And then when we solve this equation, we get the daughter's age. So as mother's age is 30 years more than the daughter's age, mother becomes 54 years. So it's important that whenever you see age problems, identify the present age and the future age or the past age and carefully convert the statement into an equation. So, okay. Mm. So the next question is like a shopkeeper buys a bag for 2,400 rupees and sells it for 2,706 rupees, 60 rupees. So first identify the cost price and the selling price. Uh, mm, since the selling price is greater than the cost price, this is a profit. So we have to calculate the profit first. And then they use this formula to assume the profit, to calculate the profit. And so if you use this formula, you get the profit percentage. So yeah. So like keep in remember, like don't divide the, like don't use the selling price instead of cost price in the formula of profit percentage. So keep it in remember. So the profit percentage is always calculated using the cost price. So the next question. So there's a class of 40 students and have an average score of 50. And then one student's marks were entered as 65 instead of 85. And now asking the correct average. So whenever the average is given, first calculate the total marks. Total marks get the average by number of students. So then correct the mistake. Like the mark should be increased as 20 because like the correct, like the mark difference is 20 because 20 marks were entered less than the correct average. So the total mark should be 20 marks more, and the correct total is 2020. And the correct you can get the correct average by dividing the total marks by the number of students. So you get the correct average as 50.5. So it's important, like take the average simply as the total marks divided by total number of anything, like any observation, a total divided by number of observations, that way. So whenever a value changes, like correct the total first and then calculate the average again. So it's all for this question. And the next question is, it says a bicycle is sold for 18,000 rupees at a 10% loss. So 10% loss means the selling price is 90% of the cost price. So the like a 10% loss means the bicycle was sold for 90% of its cost price. So the reason is that if we take the 100% as the cost price, as a 10% loss, so the selling price becomes the 90% of the cost price. So if you use this formula to calculate the loss, you can easily get the loss percentage, and then the cost price becomes, so asking the cost price of the bicycle, yeah. The cost price equals the selling price divided by uh, the the loss percentage, and then you can get the cost price. So it's important, like selling price is always less than the cost price. Yeah, it's, and always calculate profit or loss percentage using the cost price, not the selling price. And then the next question, it says a trader buys 50 notebooks for 80 rupees each and sells each for 95 rupees. So, like we can take the profit on one notebook and it becomes 15, and there are 50 notebooks, so the profit is 750. So it's easy. So whenever the cost and selling prices are given per item, first calculate profit per item. Like it saves the time. So the next question is finding simple interest on 8,000 rupees at 5% for 3 years. Yeah, the 5% interest is for annum, it means for a year. So use this formula to calculate the simple interest. So if we take it as an, we have to find the interest for an year, and then have to multiply it by 3 years. So you can easily get the simple interest for 3 years. Yeah, so it's important, like simple interest is always calculated on the original amount. So it's not compound interest, and it's another thing for the compound interest. And for this next question is, like it says A invest 5,000 rupees for 12 months and B invest 8,000 rupees for 6 months. So in this type of like partnership questions, like the profit depends on both investment and time. So first, multiply the investment by time to find the share the each gets. So first we have to multiply 5,000 by 12, and for B as the same as well. So if we simplify the both values, we can get the ratio as 5:4. Like since the profit is like 9,000, it says the profit is 9,000, and the ratio is 5:4, and there are nine, you can divide it into 9 parts. So it's in O level and simple maths, and 9 parts, and each part we get each part as 1,000. So like so here 5:A, like 5:4 means to A is to B. So B gets 4 parts, so it's 4,000. So the B share is 4,000. So it's important, like never compare only the investments, always multiply it by time first. So then you will get the correct share. So the next question is about a loss percentage. It says a trader buys a laptop for 75,000 and sells it for 69,000. So first calculate the loss. Loss equals like uh, cost price minus selling price. So then apply it for the loss percentage formula, and then you get the answer as 8% for the loss percentage. So yeah, I told earlier as well, always divide by the cost price, not the selling price. So this is the correct formula of loss percentage. You can remember this. So the next question is number series. Like I have given number series and asking what's the next number. So when solving like these questions, always check first like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or square root, cube, or anything first. So here, like at the first glance, the numbers don't increase by a constant amount. So check the multiplication pattern. If we look at the changes, like it becomes, you can see this way. The different don't follow a simple pattern. Like in addition, it doesn't follow a simple pattern. So if we check into multiplication, it comes as if the multiplication factor like 18 into 6 here, it like always 0 into, if we multiply 0 by 6, no sorry, so it's like 18 by 4, it gets 648. So it matches the option. But like check the earlier terms as well, like like many we can see only one pattern here. Like this question is a little bit confusing, and this is a question we got from the earlier aptitude test applicants who faced the exam. So this is where like at first, whenever you get a number series, you have to always check addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and that way. So the last question is finding the LCM. Find the least number which when divided by 24, 36, 48 and leaves a remainder of 11. So whenever the same remainder is left after the division, I asked you to subtract the remainder first. So then you can check the number, like the result will be then the result will be exactly divisible by these three numbers. So like first we find the LCM of these three. We'll find the LCM of first these three numbers. So here we get the prime factorization as this way, and take the highest power of each prime, and here into the power 4 is the highest factor we can get here, highest power. So the LCM comes this way, and then the like required number is like we have to add 11 to the like to the number we got. So like the question, like it says same remainder. So like remember a shortcut, like if you want to get the required number, get the LCM plus the remainder. Yeah, uh, I think you got the explanation of this as well. So that's all for me, and I hand over the next part to Ilman.
So, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So, let's go to the question number 51. Solve the equation and find the x.
Ilman, we can't hear you.
Here, 87. Now, can you hear me? Okay. Question number 51. Solve the equation and find the value of x. So, to find the value of x, first we have to remove the 10 from this equation. So, we are going to remove the 10 from this equation and we can get this equation here. So, next part is we have to remove the 4 from the
Ilman, can you speak a bit louder, please? It's not audible. Yes.
Hello everyone. Am I audible now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the question number 51. Solve the equation and find the value of x. So first, if you want to find the value of x, first we have to remove the number 10 and we are going to subtract 10 from both sides. And then we will get 4x to the power 2 by 3 is equal to 16. And then we have to divide both sides by 4 to get x to the power 2 by 3. Then if you divide both sides by 4, you will get this equation. X to the power 2 by 3 is equal to 4. Then we need to remove the exponent. So we have to raise both sides by reciprocal power to cancel out the exponent. If you raise 3 by 2, this both will be cut off. Then x will be left out. X is equal to 4 to the power 3 by 2. Now, if we assume y to the power 1 by 2 is equal to root of y. So, if you apply that, so we are going to take this to we are converting it to root of 4. So x is equal to root of 4 to the power 3. Then root of 4 is equal to 2. It's converting here. Then x is equal to 2 to the power 3 is 8. So the answer is 8. So the next question is if f of x is equal to x squared plus something, what is the value of f of 2? To find f of 2, we have to replace every x in the function with 2. So we are going to substitute every place of the x by 2. So f of 2 is equal to 2 square plus 1 by 2 square minus 3. So now we have to simplify this and this is simple mathematics. So we can easily find the question f of 2 is equal to 5 by 4. So the answer is B. And the question number 53 is find the mode of the following data sets. So now first we have to understand what's the mode.
Excuse me, Ilman.
Yes.
You're not clear enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try.
Can you speak a little bit louder?
Okay. Now can you hear me? Just give me one minute. Okay. Now can you hear me?
Yeah, continue.
Okay. So question number 53, find the mode of the following data set. So before we go into the question, we have to know what is the mode. So the mode is the value that appear most frequently in the data set. So we have to organize the data set and in ascending order to easily spot duplicates. Sometimes, most of the times, we can skip this step one and directly go to go to find the answers. And so if we see the 8 is appearing 2 times in this question, and 12 is appearing 1, 2, 3 times, and 15 is appearing 2 times, and 10 and 9 is appearing only 1 time. So in this data set, 12 is appearing 3 times, and it's the highest frequency. So the answer is 12. So the question 54 is a rectangular hole measures 12 meter by 18 meter. What's the largest spare tile exactly carved of floor? To find the answer of this question, we have to find HCF of 12 and 18. So first we have to find the factors of 12. The factors are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And then we have to find factors of 18. The factors of 18 are 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. So the highest factor and the largest common number is 6. So the answer will be 6 meter. The 6 by 6 tile will fit perfectly. Question 55 is the product of two numbers is 3600. If the HCF is 12 and the least common multiplier is 300, then so first we have to understand these rules. Product of numbers is equal to HCF multiplied by LCM. So first step is substitute the given values into the formula to test the statement's validity. So given product is 3600, then highest common factor is 12 and least common multiplies 300. So we have to find 3600 is the 3600 is equal to HCF multiplied by LCM. So in this situation, 12 by 300 is equal to 3600. So both sides equations are equal. So the product of mathematical statement is current. So answer is 1A. So if you want more practice in this question, you can simply copy the question and paste it on YouTube. Then you can find multiple questions. You can find multiple similar questions for your practice. So question 56 is two bells rings at interval of 20 minutes and 30 minutes respectively. If they ring together at 9 a.m., when they when will they next time together? So to find this answer of the question, we have to find LCM, or we can simply calculate it by our minds. So if we want to do the proper way, we have to find LCM of 20 and 30. So first we have to write down the multipliers of 20s, and then we have to write down the multiplier of 30s. Then we can find the LCM of 20 and 30. So the LCM is 16. So we need to add the LCM with the initial time. So the answer will be 10 m. Question 57 is a vehicle took 8 hours to travel distances. Another vehicle took 9 hours. If the difference in their speed is 5 km per hour, what's distance is? So to find the distance of this, so first we have to uh, find which one is fast vehicle and which one is slow vehicle. So speed is equal to distance by time. In that, so fast vehicle can complete the distance in shorter time. So first one is the fast vehicle, and second one is the slow vehicle. So fast vehicle speed is s by 8, and slow vehicle speed is s by 9. So they gave us the data that the difference between the two vehicle speed is 5 km per hour. So if you subtract the slower vehicle speed from the fast vehicles, then we can have 5 km per hour. And then we have to simplify this equation, and then we can find this. So this is equal to 36, 360. So answer is 360 kilometers. Question number 58 is, Ayan gives 100 rupees to Madhusi, and Madhusi gives 500 to Dian, and all three end up with the same. How much more money did Ayan have than Madhusi? So first, finally, they all have the same equal money. So we can let the final equal amount for everyone to be x. Then we have to work backward to find initial amount of ions and Dylan. So ion gave 100 rupees away to end at x. So initially ion gave x plus 1000 rupees. So and Dylan received 500 rupees to end at x. So Dylan paid x minus 500. If we find the difference between ion and Dylan, we can find the final answer. So x plus 1000 subtract x minus 500. So the answer will be 1500 rupees. And question number 59. The original price of a product is R rupees. If a discount of 18% is given, what's the sale price of the product? So if we find the final sale price of the product, we have to subtract the discount from the initial price. So if we put the initial price is 1 R, we have to find the discount of the R. So 18% of R is equal to 0.18, and we can find the sale price by subtract 0.18 R rupees from R rupees. So the final answer will be 0.82. quiz. So final question number 16 is a pavement of 1 centimeter is constructed inside a rectangle of size 20 centimeter by 18 centimeter. What's the area of the pavement? So I have an extra slides to understand it better. So this is a 1 centimeter pavement. So that we have constructed and then inside the rectangle. And then now we have to find the area of the pavement. So first we have to find the rectangles area. Then we have to find inner area of the rectangle. Then we have to subtract the inner area from the outer whole rectangles area. Then we can find the payments area. So the initial out area is 20 multiplied by 18 is equal to 360 centimeters square. So then we have to remove the payment area. So length will become 18 and width will become 16 because yes, the payment is laying in both sides of the width and both sides of the length. So we can calculate the inner area 18 multiplied by 16, 288 centimeters square. Now we have to subtract the inner area from both area to find payment. So final answer will be 72 centimeters square. Well, thank you.
So thank you, Ilmo. Now let's move on to the next section, which is the general science section. So this also has 20 marks worth of questions, and this will be done by Rasna and Ilmo.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. I hope I'm audible and my screen is visible as well. All right, I am Razda Ramlan from First Nation Islamabad, and I will be covering up the general science section along with someone. So the first question is overall, general science is pretty direct and it's almost the basic questions. So most of it is just memorization and it comes with practice. So by any chance, if you do not know the answer, the most easiest solution is to follow the elimination method where you eliminate the wrong answers and you will be left with an option of 2 or 1. And if you do not know, lucky guess would be the solution. So moving on, we have the first question that is, what is the primary function of ribosomes in a cell? So the correct answer is protein synthesis, and the answer B, C, and D is incorrect because B is lipid is synthesized by the smooth endoplasmic thing. And for option C, it's stored in the DNA, and option D, it happens in the chloroplast. So moving on to the next question, we have which cells in the human body are responsible for performing phagocytosis? And the answer is A, because option B, C, and D. Option B and C is involved in allergic responses, and option D is for tissue repair. And to the next question, 63, which is which element acts as both a water purifier and a disinfectant, which is chlorine. It's pretty obvious because in pool water, it's chlorine, and sodium, oxygen, and sulfur aren't used for that. And then we have which part of the human body is the olfactory system related to? And it's the nose, because eyes is for vision, ears is for hearing and balance, and the tongue is for taste. And then question 65, which element is a non-metal? This question is quite repeated, so please make note of that. And it's pretty direct. So A, B, and C are metals, and D, sulfur, is a non-metal, which is the answer. And then we have which of the following examples converts chemical energy into kinetic energy? The answer is obviously A, because B, wind turbines convert kinetic to electrical energy. C, steam engine converts thermal to kinetic energy, and D, dynamo converts kinetic to electrical energy. And then question C is basic chemistry. It's a theoretical answer, so the option is C. And then question 68 is which element is liquid at room temperature? This is once again very basic chemistry. The answer is option D, mercury. Question 69 is a repeated question where they will ask you to mention what's a unit of a certain thing. So the answer is C, which is Pascal, because Joule is for energy, Watt is for power, and Newton is for force. And then question 70 is another repeated question. They will ask you to find either the percentage of argon, nitrogen, oxygen, or carbon dioxide. So please have this information memorized. So the answer is A, because B, 78% is the percentage of nitrogen, C, 21 is the percentage of oxygen, and D, 0.04% is the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And that's it for my part. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I hope this time you can hear me clearly. So question number 71, which instrument is used to measure the pressure in the environment? So A, thermometer measures the temperature. B, barometer measures atmospheric pressure. C, ammeter measures electrical current. D, voltmeter measures the voltage. So the answer is barometer. It measures the atmosphere air pressure. So question number 72. What interrupts the current flow in a circuit? Answer is resistor. It reduces the current but does not stop it completely. And the answer is switch. An open switch breaks the circuit and stop the flow of the current. So the answer to the question is switch. And capacitors store electrical charge. Batteries supplies electrical energy. 73. What is the energy possessed by steam? So steam is hot water vapor, so it contains heat energy. So the answer is thermal or internal energy. Kinetic energy is energy of motion. Potential energy is stored energy due to position. Electrical energy is energy from electrical charge. So the answer is B. Question 74. Which organ does hepatitis C affect first? Hepatitis C is a viral infection that primarily attacks the liver. So answer is liver. That's relevant. Question number 75. Which disease causes high fever and lower limb infection or paralysis in children? Polio is a viral disease that can cause paralysis, especially in children. Answer is polio. The question number 76 is which of the following is an example of synthesis reaction? Answer is combustion, it's burning reaction. Answer B is photosynthesis. A synthesis reaction combines simple substance to form a more complex substance. In photosynthesis, plants combine carbon dioxide and water to make glucose. So the answer of the question is answer B, photosynthesis. Question number 77. Which part of the human brain is responsible for maintaining the human body? So first one is cerebrum. It's for thinking, memory, and intelligence. Second one is cerebellum. It's for the cerebral controls, balance, posture, and coordinates. So the answer for that question is B. In question 78 is what's the source of oxygen released during the photosynthesis? During the photosynthesis, water molecules split and release oxygen. So the answer is B. Carbon dioxide is used to make glucose, and glucose is a product of photosynthesis. Next question is what's the percentage of oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere? Its answer is A, 21%, and nitrogen is 78%, and 0.04% is carbon dioxide. So answer is A. So next question is what's the largest organelle in a plant cell? So the answer is C. The large central vacuole. So the large central vacuole occupies most of the plant cell and stores water and nutrients. And nucleus controls cell activities. Okay, that's it.
Okay. So far we have covered the main and most challenging parts of the paper. Now we'll move on to the next section, which is general knowledge, which will be explained by Razna and Ilman Ahmed. Razna,
All
over to
right.
you.
Thank you. So I will be covering the first half of the general knowledge questions. So the first question is, in which year did the Titanic sink after hitting the iceberg? So this question is pretty much general knowledge. You have to know the answer. And if you do not, once again, lucky guess. So the answer is B, 1912. And the second question is, what does the lion with the sword represent in the Sri Lankan flag? Which is B, bravery and the sovereignty of the country. This is again history. Comes part of it. So just know like the basic parts of the Sri Lankan flag and what they represent. Even better to do the same for the Pakistan flag as well. And question 83 is, who is the author of this particular book? So the answer is Jane Austen, and this is also once again general knowledge, as option A, B, and C are authors of the other books. And question 84 is, how many member countries does the International Monetary Fund currently have? This is once again economics, so just know numbers like this, so it'll help you for the exam. And question 85, what type of gas or substance is commonly used as a refrigerant in air conditioners and refrigerators? So the answer is obviously option B, because option A, C, and D are primary gases and they do not have the capabilities of acting as a refrigerant in air conditioners and refrigerators. So that's it from my part, and the rest will be done by the next person. Thank you.
Okay, the next part will be discussed by Kavindu. Kavindu, over to you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Okay, wait, I share my screen. Okay, I am Kaidu Arabekidara, currently doing bioinformatics in Nast University. I'll be doing the rest of the general knowledge part in fifth paper. So this question is, Oslo is the capital country of which country? So if you check the answer is Norway. If we check the other countries like Sweden, the capital is Stockholm. And if we check this Finland, it's Helsinki. And Denmark's capital is Copenhagen. And for the next question, what form of energy is mainly possessed by the stream? This question is already repeated previously also. So the answer is thermal energy, because steam means hot water, so it has thermal energy. If you see the others, like chemical energy means the energy comes from molecular or atomic bonds, and nuclear energy means it comes from reactions in atomic nuclear, and light energy has no direct connection to steam. And the next question is, Mother Teresa was originally from which country? So the answer for this is Albania. And if we check the rest of the answers, India is there because like she has moved to, like she born in Albanian family, and after that she has moved to India for her work. And Italy and Greece has no connection with Mother Teresa. Yes, originally. The next question, South Africa is commonly known by which special name? And answer for this is the Rainbow Nation, And if we check the rainbow nation is popularized because to describe the South Africa's culture and their ethnic diversity. And if we see the other answers here, the first one, the land of the rising sun, it is a name used to describe Japan. And the Emerald Isle is used to refer Ireland. And the land of fire and ice is Iceland. And the next question, which two countries were involved in the 100 Years' War? It's England and France. Answer. Like this 100 Years' War is was a series of conflict between kingdoms of England and France to claim the France throne. It was happened in 1337 to 1453. So this is my part. Rest will be done by another person. Thank you.
Okay, we'll now move on to the next part, which is computer science, which will be discussed again by Kavindu. Kavindu?
Yes, no, this part will be done by Ilman Ahmed. I will do the next paper's computer science part.
Right.
So, hello everyone. Let's go to the question 91. Question 91 is what type of security is IP version 4? IP version 4 operates at the network layer of the OSI model and security mechanism related to IP version 4, such as IP security, work at this layer. So this answer is A. And if we see what's the application layer security, it's protect applications like web browsers, and physical security is protects hardware and facilities, and physical layer security relates to cable and transmission media. So 90 seconds. And the next question is what linked the hard disk with the operating system during startup operations? So answer is compiler, which translates source code into machine code. The B is device driver. The device driver allows the operating system to communicate with hardware devices such as hard disk. And C is web browser, which access websites. D is spreadsheets, which is mostly used for calculation and data organization. So the answer is device driver, which allows the operating system to communicate with the hardware devices. So, question number 93, version of an OS type. So is based operating system, SOS. So the answer is compiler. A compiler is a software that translates programming code. It's not an operating system. So the answer is compiler. The next question is a register memory type in. The register is a memory type in. So hard disk is register. Registers are very small and its high-speed memory is located inside CPU, used to store data temporarily during the process. So register is situated in CPU. So the answer is B. So the next question is which is not an IP address of WLAN. So each part of an IP version 4 address must be between 0 and 255. So A is an valid address. So there's nothing exceeds 255, and B is also valid. And we can see in the answer C, there's 256, which exceeds the limit, so it's not an IP address of WLAN. So our next question is WPA2 is so we have to fill the blank. So A is Internet Protocol. It's like IP or TCP. And the second is encryption algorithm. And third is programming language. It's used for coding mostly. And third, the fourth one is network protocol. And WPA is primarily known for wireless security encryption. So the answer should be D. Then 970s, which of the following is not a logic circuit? So the basic logic circuit are three: AND gate, OR gate, and NOT gate. So the answer is modem. Modem is a communication device. It's not a logic circuit. So the 98% is which year was Siri introduced? In iPhone 4S. Answer is 2011. And next question is what is SQL injection? So, SQL injection, it's a technique to insert malicious SQL code to manipulate a database. SQL injection is a cyber attack where malicious SQL command are inserted into the input field to access or modify a database. So the answer should be B. If we see a method to speed up database query is not an attack method, then a programming language is not also not an attack. So the answer should be B. So the 100th question is SHA-1 is mainly used in so SHA-1 is a cryptographic test function used to verify that data has not been altered. So the answer is data compression. It's used to reduce the file size. Answer B is casing for data integrity. So the answer for the question is B. And web page designers related to HTML and CSS and image rendering used in graphics process. So that's it